approval in a day.
Rapid Advance, I got my money right away.
With Rapid, there's no hassles,
no credit checks galore.
You just need to be in business for a year or more.
Call 877-GO-RAPID or visit rapidadvance.com. Get up to $300,000 in just days. 877-GO-RAPID.
Rapid Advance, they didn't say no. Rapid Advance, they help your business grow.
For soft, beautiful feet, I have a professional secret. Amopay and its premium foot care line. The new Amopay Pedi Perfect Foot File gives you soft, beautiful feet effortlessly. Its microlumina rotating head buffs away hard skin, even on those hard-to-reach spots. It's amazing. You can see it and feel it. My new must-have for soft, beautiful feet. Amopay Pedi Perfect. Find it in the foot care aisle or at the registers in these stores. Amopay. Love every step.
If your age is between 50 and 85, you probably think you can't afford life insurance. The thought of leaving your family the burden of your final expenses can be stressful, but one simple call to Fidelity Life can provide you and your family with peace of mind. With premiums and coverage amounts guaranteed to stay the same for the life of the policy. There's no medical exam required, and by answering a few simple questions, your coverage can start immediately. Speak with a licensed agent for Fidelity Life today.
Call today, 1-800-516-0730.
And shipping is always free.
Visit DealDash.com and start bidding today.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here. And that's just Sam.
Jim Cantori, now on AMHQ. Weekday mornings at 7.
Those winter weather updates at the beginning of the season where we had no cold air to talk about, and here it is all at once.
We did get it all at once, didn't we?
What happened? I mean, like, that Siberian Express, boy, we can blame a lot of things on that. All you have to do is go across the other side of the North Pole to find it.
You know, it's not a colloquialism. This is the real deal Siberian Express. This air is literally coming from Siberia.
All the way across snowpack Canada and much of the U.S. as well.
So the thing is this, too, it's about 5,000 miles of snowpack. So you take that air mass, and if it was going over, you know, just regular land, trees, grass, that kind of stuff, it wouldn't be nearly as cold.
Right.
But it's the season, and so you go over 5,000 miles of snowpack, makes it even colder, so you've got colder all the way down to the Gulf Coast.
It's continental polar air mass when it comes to the air mass designations, right? CP is what this is, continental polar.
So we'd do anything for maritime air mass right now. We modify those temperatures a little bit. Just not happening, unfortunately. So what's the result of all that? Well, let's break down what's going to happen for you here. There's that bitterly cold air. It's all highlighted here in the purples and the blues on the map, okay? And then we have precipitable water. We call it PWAT. And what that is the amount of liquid water you would have if you got rid of every little last water vapor molecule in a column of air. So that's highlighted here in the green. Where the two get together, you're likely to have a frozen precip. But I want to point out a couple of things here tomorrow, especially in Arkansas. See where the blues kind of retreat, but the green doesn't? So that means we're going to have liquid precip falling. But keep in mind, the surface temperatures are likely going to be in the 20s. So we're going to have freezing rain in Little Rock, and then we'll end up getting a bit of a mix for us in a place like Memphis, and then we'll end up getting a mix to snow in a place like Nashville. It's just all how that precipitation and that air mixes, and it's just not going to be fun in a lot of places across the South. Eventually, though, a lot of warmer air wins out, and we're dealing with plenty of rain across the South. So the North, a slam dunk for snow. The South, a mix to freezing rain to eventually all rain, guys.
Just hang in there, you're saying. Hang in there. The rain will eventually get here. Well, scientists have learned a lot about tornadoes, but mystery still remains about how and when deadly outbreaks can occur.
As we celebrate African Americans who are making a difference, we look at one scientist who definitely will. Meteorologist Alex Wallace introduces us to Dr. Ashton Robinson Cook.
My grandfather was a sharecropper, and I'm a PhD graduate. That, to me, is just incredible.
It was a long, tough 10 years.
Being the racial minority in my group, you know, there's some cultural differences that I had to accommodate to adjust to and to work through. I felt like I had to kind of power through. Graduate school in general is kind of a solitary job. You have to focus on your work. It's just you and your work for the most part.
But he did it. Dr. Ashton Robinson Cook became the first African American to graduate from the University of Oklahoma with a PhD in meteorology, studying tornadoes.
I want to say that I feel indebted because there are a lot of people who invested in me. and a lot of people who took me by the hand and said, here, I'll help you with this.
And we do that for thunderstorm awareness. When I first met Ashton, I was struck by his passion, and I saw that passion right away.
But his passion for tornadoes didn't start out as passion.
When I was younger, I was afraid of storms, but that fear kind of turned into a curiosity and then ultimately a passion for studying these storms, these phenomena.
Look at that thing. Look at that.
So tell me a little bit more about your research.
The research that I'm doing right now is essentially geared towards creating a seasonal tornado forecast method to be able to give people warning, say in a 3-month period, this area is at a higher threat for tornadoes. I think there'd be a lot of value in that.
Robinson Cook studied past tornado outbreaks and looked at the atmospheric conditions at the time, like El Nino and La Nina.
Usually whenever there's a La Nina in place, there tends to be greater activity across the entire U.S.
Forecasting seasonally and extended range is very difficult. There are some relationships, and Ashton's been one of the pioneers in revealing those.
While it may seem unlikely for a scientist, Robinson Cook also played semi-pro football. And as could be expected, likes to storm chase.
I feel so fortunate to be in a field that I love, and I feel like I'm part of history now.
We're back at the top of the hour talking about even colder temperatures.
We're right back in 60 seconds.
A wind chill advisory is in effect. Currently in our area, 54 degrees under sunny skies with windy conditions. Today, windy with sunshine, high 59, winds northwest at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Tonight, some clouds this evening will give way to mainly clear skies overnight, low 37. Friday, sunshine and clouds mixed, high 66. Winds north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Thanks for joining us today. I'm Jen Carfagno.
And I'm Samantha Moore. And this morning, so many people woke up to unprecedented cold, records shattered all over the place, thanks to a Siberian Express of Arctic air.
All right, let's roll the numbers. We'll show you how many records have been broken. And we have had 17 record low temperatures broken for today. We've got the chance to break 70 tomorrow morning.
And there's plenty of dangerous conditions still lingering from the cold, both in the south and the north. Just watch this incredible video coming out of Knoxville, Tennessee, a near miss of this fella standing here, and then,
wow.
I mean, sweating bullets as that thing came by. I'm sure.
Oh, man, I can imagine what that guy was thinking. Certainly happy for his life after this. Look at that car, that truck. Now, roads in Knoxville, we get a lot of snow yesterday, but we got a trace officially, and that was enough to make roads slippery. Of course, we're concerned about the next one up, the next storm system that's going to come to the south. And Mike Bettis, there is another one.
No rest for the weary, that's for sure. This one, though, you could be dodging thunderstorms, you could be slipping on ice, you could be building snowmen. So what does it mean for whom, and when does it arrive? As soon as tomorrow morning, by the way. So we'll have some more details on that throughout the show this morning.
Well, light snow continues for New England, and now the city needs to be ready for negative wind chills, so wind chills way below zero. Chris Warren is live for us in Boston. And Chris, we're talking the #2 spot now with all-time seasonal snowfall and this incredible record cold.
Yeah, the incredible record cold has done one thing, though. It's kept the snow frozen. Eventually, all the snow is going to have to melt, and I want to show you what people are likely very concerned about. Water, all of this water. Now, this is not snow melt. This is salt water. We're next to the harbor, coming up on a full moon and a high tide, so this is some tidal flooding, and there is a lot of snow here and a lot of water. In fact, you can't walk through the main area anymore. And this is something also I noticed yesterday. People in their nice shoes, you come to an intersection, everything's plowed, there'll be a puddle of water right there. You're trying to cross the road. and you have to kind of just navigate around it. That's what you have to do. It's what people are going to have to deal with it. Now, with the Boston Harbor Association, Tanya Bronsteller, thank you very much for joining us. Now, we saw you earlier. You were out here checking things out. Talk to us about what you said is this wicked high tide.
Yeah, twice a month we have wicked high tide. It's when the sun and the moon align, and we have new moon and full moon, so we get wicked high tide. This is going to be at 11:20. The highest point is going to be 12 feet above mean low tide. And at 5:20 p.m. we're going to have wicked low tide. It's going to be -2 feet. So, yeah, this happens twice a month. It's crazy.
Now, what's it like now? Because this happens regularly, but you don't have all this snow. Does that pose any challenges or any other issues?
Actually, in winter, we have like higher tides than in other seasons, so it's really crazy. Winter's been like really crazy. And we have sea level rise. So actually, Boston City Base used to be 0, and now Boston City Base is 1 feet above 0 because of sea level rise. Okay. So it's going to get worse.
All right, with the Boston Harbor Association. Tanya, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. Tanya, so again, this is not because of melting, but water eventually will be the big concern here in Boston and throughout the Northeast, Sam, once everything melts, and it's going to sooner or later.
And that's going to be a whole lot of water, and it's going to have some place to go. Chris Warren, thank you very much, coming from Boston. And we're going to head over to Mike and Jen talking about what is headed our way next.
I'll tell you.
I'm coming.
He's coming. All right, so Mike, looking at the latest stats, right, and what's coming in the next system in Boston.
It's complicated. Yeah. Boston, I think it's what's so tricky about the forecast is the temperatures and how much snow will we get before we convert over to a mix and then we convert over to rain, because we think that's going to happen. And so it's not all snow this time for Boston.
And so that's point number 1 to make. I think point number 2 is that, I'm not sure that the models know exactly what's on the ground, right? The snowpack and the temperature of the snowpack. We were just talking about this. What's so interesting is you go from Boston to New York. It's pretty much one of the most populated areas of the entire country. It's concrete jungle, right? The snowpack temperature there is upper 20s. You get just outside of town, it's upper teens. It's 10-degree warmer snowpack. So I think that's really interesting.
I think at least potentially to quicker melting with the next storm that comes in if it's just a little bit above freezing.
Exactly. But also could affect the air right above that snowpack.
And which I don't think the models really take into account what the snowpack temperatures are. And so that's why I think you see some differences in the European model and the GFS model where they keep that freezing line. Here's the deal on Saturday. It's pretty mild across the south, so all the green means that we have rain. The Ohio Valley, I think, gets in some place here a solid half foot of snow. And then there's the tricky forecast. Initially, we think late Saturday, Jen, beginning as some snow, and then as the low basically parks itself, up here in New England, we're going to usher in more of a southerly flow. So it's tricky in these areas. See, we've gone over to pink, but you're not that far from rain in New York or Boston. I think eventually you do go over to all rain at some point.
What this also will tell us, though, if we get snow, when we get snow, it's going to be a wet snow, different than the snow that we've had lately, which has been a very dry, fluffy snow.
And so I think we're going to get potentially a couple of inches, and then rain comes in pretty quickly over top of that, and you start to compact it, you start to melt it. A place like New York, I don't think the snow lasts very long. It's a morning event for us on Saturday, it's an evening event on Saturday, and look at all this rain in our forecast on Sunday. Temperatures go into the 40s, so there's no chance that you're going to snow at those temperatures. Boston, a little bit different scenario. I think we have a little bit longer length of snow coming our way, so I do think we get a few inches of snow, but then again, same thing with the temperatures. They go well above freezing, and so I think you get a combination effect of rain that melts the snow, air temperature that melts the snow. I think wet basements are going to be a big issue this weekend.
We have 2 problems to pick from here in Boston. More snow, which would be a problem, but then rain on top of the snow we have, which is another problem. Neither is a good situation.
The only saving grace is it's not an epic snow like we've had. I think a couple inches.
All right, thanks, Mike. Sam, back over to you.
Have to worry about the basements and the rooftops right now. Well, with no chance to thaw out, the South is bracing for yet another round of wintry weather this weekend, even as record-breaking cold keeps the region on ice. Coming up, we'll break down the timing of when and where the next snow will fall. And in Atlanta, a chilly morning this morning, and we're waiting for the next mix to move in.
Does your car suffer from cataracts? You heard right, cataracts. Those aging, foggy headlights. Well, we have the cure. Wipe New Headlight Restore. Crystal clear headlights in seconds and guaranteed to pass inspection as long as you own your car or truck. We detailed this old Mercedes. It looks fantastic, except for those foggy, ugly headlights. Now watch Wipe New Headlight Restore do its job.
It's so easy to use, and it looks amazing. I'm sold.
I mean, I couldn't even see the light bulb inside before. Now, it's crystal clear. It's amazing. It really is.
Old foggy headlights aren't just ugly, they're dangerous. They actually impair your vision, and you could receive a citation.
Watch as we test headlamp brightness with this light meter. Look how much brighter the Wipe New side is. Amazing! Here's how it works. Just polish off the haze. Then apply the pre-moistened Wipe New Headlight Restore. It's that simple. After restoring your headlights to a crystal clear finish, the Wipe New forms a protective bond that will keep them that way. And only Wipe New can make that guarantee.
I was really having trouble driving at night, and I thought it was my vision, but it was my cloudy headlights. Thanks, Wipe New.
Wipe New works even when other products have failed. So before you go and spend hundreds on replacement lights, protect your lenses for life. Order Wipe New Headlight Restore for just $9.99. Call right now and we'll double your order. That's two, one for each car. You get 2 Wipe New Headlight Restore kits for just $9.99. Call now. Wipe New, keeping your world like new.
Easy to use Wipe New Headlight Restore. Crystal clear headlights in just seconds. The last time you'll have to restore your headlights. Call 1-800-503-4179. That's 1-800-503-4179. Order now.
Yes! Again! That's a 3! You gotta be kidding me! You gotta be kidding me! Panarak!
3, baby. 10 minutes.
Oh my God! Dude, you gotta be kidding me!
A wind chill advisory is in effect. Currently in our area, 54 degrees under sunny skies with windy conditions. Today, sunny and windy. High 58. Winds northwest at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Tonight, some clouds this evening will give way to mainly clear skies overnight. Low 37. Friday, partly cloudy. High 66. Winds north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here. And that's just Sam.
Jim Cantori, now on AMHQ. Weekday mornings at 7.
Americans. 57% of us try to exercise regularly. 83% try to eat healthy. Yet up to 90% of us fall short in getting key nutrients from food alone. Let's do more together. Add 1 a day, complete with key nutrients we may need. Plus, for women, physical energy support with B vitamins. And for men, it helps support healthy blood pressure with vitamin D and magnesium. Take 1 a day multivitamins.
What's this? A box. It takes worn out things and makes them better.
It's our biggest breakthrough yet. We're taking worn out batteries and making them into something strong. Energizer Eco Advanced. World's first battery made with recycled batteries. That's positive energy.
And I turn around and there's 3 rattlesnakes.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't worry, Rob. You're covered.
State Farm agents are there whenever you need them.
Hey, neighbor. Ace is having a 20% off store-wide thank you sale. So stop by Ace this Saturday only and get 20% off almost anything you can fit in a bag as our way of saying thanks for being our neighbor.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
People in the South are dealing with the impact of this week's winter storm. In Georgia, the big problem is ice knocking down branches and power lines. More than 10,000 customers in the state are still without power.
And ice and slush have made roads slippery. Look at this. You got a first responder there looking like he's going to help a vehicle, and he fell. Oh, numerous accidents, as you can see, reported on the icy roads. And, you know, the cold is another issue out there this morning all across the Deep South. I think it's safe to say we are over it this winter. We are over it.
It took a while to get here, but, you know, it has hit us with a vengeance, and we are over it for sure. Maria LaRosa is in Nashville, where they tied a 100-plus-year-old record for low temperature. Maria.
Well, you know, no one's more over it when you talk to business owners and artists here in Music City. They want to move on and get out of the grip of the ice that has plagued this area for days now. And when you talk about business and show business, look no further than the musicians and artists who have been directly affected the last few days. And one of them is here with us, Amy Speece, a singer-songwriter in the area. Thank you so much for joining us. I know it's been an interesting, difficult week for you, and you were, too, directly impacted by the storm. Tell us about that.
Well, yeah, I had 2 shows this week. I had a show in Knoxville on Monday that obviously I couldn't drive to, and then a show here at the Bluebird Cafe on Tuesday, but the Bluebird was closed for 2 days.
So what does that do for someone who is a singer-songwriter, musician, and, you know, this is your livelihood?
Well, yeah, I mean, it impacts. I don't make money for 2 nights, but also all the waitresses and waiters and sound people and door people. I mean, all the clubs were closed in town Monday and Tuesday, so a lot of people lost income.
And you did say that there was a bit of a positive side effect. What was that?
Well, it's nice to have a couple days off, and a couple friends of mine, we all got together and decided we'd take the time and write songs. So we sat in my house and ate soup and wrote songs.
Well, that is definitely positive. And speaking of looking ahead, you know, it's a bit of rough weather heading to this area again this weekend. What are your plans? What are you going to be doing the next few days, few weeks?
The next few days, I'm not moving. I'm staying inside. I have a record that's coming out on March 3rd, and so I'm going to be touring, and my tour starts here on March 3rd. Hopefully the weather will pass, and then I'll go to Texas.
We hope so, too. We hope so, too. Amy, thank you so much for joining us. And guys, yeah, that winter storm watch takes effect at noon tomorrow, so hopefully Friday night's gigs in this area might also suffer a bit as well with that weather moving in. Back to you.
Maria, thank you. And travelers, too, in town. You know, Nashville always home to lots of conventions. And, you know, we've got not just the winter concerns tomorrow, but for the here and now, it's the cold in Nashville and the rest of the Southeast. Let's look at some of the readings that we're expecting tomorrow morning. So Knoxville, Tennessee, we are going down to 2 degrees. That will smash the old record. In fact, Greensboro, Greenville, and Norfolk all going to smash the old records that are old records set back in the late 1800s or early 1900s. So breaking those daily records tomorrow morning. Atlanta, while you might not be breaking a record, it is still going to be cold out there. And Saturday morning, you will finally start to see a warming trend. Look at this. Warmer air is pushing on in. In fact, you'll start your day at 50 in Pensacola, a lot better than the 30s, right? Looking at high temperatures today, you know, we're only in the teens for highs in Nashville, not even making it to freezing in Atlanta. Tomorrow looks better. We'll get to 41 degrees in Atlanta, but certainly over the weekend is when you will see that warming trend all throughout the Southeast, including in Atlanta, 50s and low 60s. That is just barely average as we get you into the weekend. Sam.
Well, the extreme winter can provide some it's amazing out there moments, and this one, Niagara Falls, frozen, is amazing. Coming up, the beautiful side of winter. And Miami is getting a little taste of winter today, too. We'll talk about your changing forecast.
I went to Ancestry.com, but I thought, I'm not going to make it very far. I knew my parents and my grandparents, and then it happened. I got a leaf. When I clicked on it, I could actually see my grandfather's draft card from World War I and his U.S. Census from 1910, and another member's tree that had my great-grandparents and their parents and everything. And it all started with my first leaf.
Who will you discover at Ancestry.com?
Do you have a box of cleaners under your kitchen sink that you spent hundreds of dollars on and left you disappointed? Hi, Chef Tony here. Now, I love to cook, but it can get messy. So how do I keep my things looking new? This is My Cleaning Secret by Simonize. Now you can clean even the messiest of messes in just seconds with no scratching. Look at that. Simonize is a trusted name known for over 100 years. This one tub will clean almost everything in your entire home. Brass, copper, porcelain, stainless steel, glass tops. How about things like golf clubs, the rims of your tires, a rusty barbecue? Just dampen, dab, and wipe it away. Even the rust with no bleach. And here's my favorite part. Make something old look brand new. Look at that. This is the first oven cleaner you're going to use. No stinky foams, no rubber gloves. Whether it's burnt on, dried on, baked on, or caked on, My Cleaning Secret makes it look like new. Remove stains, tarnish, rust, or lime without having to waste the time. Call or go online right now, and I'll send you a tub of My Cleaning Secret by Simonize today for only $9.95. And I'll include this dual-sided microfiber cleaning pad free. It's soft on one side with a scrubber on the other. But that's not all. Order now, and I'll supersize it at no additional charge. And I'm still not done. Order right now, and I'll double the offer. Just pay separate processing and handling. That's 2 supersized tubs of My Cleaning Secret and 2 dual-sided cleaning pads, a huge value for just $9.95.
To order My Cleaning Secret for $9.95 plus processing and handling, call 1-800-682-8718. That's 1-800-682-8718. Or order online at mycleaningsecret.com. Call or log on now.
You know you're going to go out in bad weather.
We're willing to take a lot of risk.
He has no heartbeat. He's got no pulse. These people are counting on us.
Everything you love about NASCAR is back. Speed Weeks begins February 12th on Fox Sports 1.
Brought to you by the South Florida Mercedes-Benz dealers, featuring the Mercedes-Benz 2015 GLA and Mercedes-Benz 2015 C-Class, or go to mbsouthflorida.com.
Ugh.
Does your carpet ever feel rough and dirty? Don't avoid it. Resolve it. Our new formula with a special conditioning ingredient softens your carpet with every use. It's Resolve, so you know it cleans and freshens, but now it also softens. Resolve, a carpet that welcomes you. And try Resolve for amazing stain removal the first time.
There's no obligation, so call toll-free at 1-800-200-6120.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here. And that's just Sam.
Jim Cantori, now on AMHQ. Weekday mornings at 7.
A wind chill advisory is in effect. Currently in our area, 54 degrees under sunny skies. Today, sunny and windy. High 58. Winds northwest at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Tonight, some clouds this evening will give way to mainly clear skies overnight. Low 37. Friday, partly cloudy. High 66. Winds north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
We're going to take a look out there at Niagara Falls. These are side-by-side views here showing you just how frozen it is. The record cold has frozen parts of the falls solid in some spots.
This really is amazing. You see all that ice, I guess it's like a rime ice on the trees from the spray getting frozen on the trees. And the falls themselves don't freeze completely, but they freeze enough to provide for a spectacular view. Now, some of the best viewing spots are closed because of the icy surfaces. says too dangerous for tourists, but there's spots where you can see it, obviously, as we are seeing right here. People are braving the weather. Wind chills as low as 30 below. They're braving the weather out here to get this view.
Such a cool view. Love to see that one of these days if I'm ever brave enough to brave the cold. Well, New York City is dealing with negative wind chills today, and that makes your morning commute even more difficult.
Especially if you're on a boat. We've got Reagan Medji with us this morning. She is at the ferry terminal in Staten Island. And Reagan, you know, when people come in or out or leaving or going, are they just hunkered down? Are they all covered up?
Yeah, I mean, if you look over here, let's check this person right now just walking through. This is what she's doing to try to battle the wind right now. I'll tell you right now that we were here since about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I have not seen the wind gust as much as it is right now for this live shot. You know, the gusts should be expected up into the 40-mile-an-hour range. Now, we're at the Staten Island Ferry Terminal, and you can see that one of the ferries is coming in right now from Manhattan. And, you know, there's a skyline of Manhattan, and earlier today, we were on that ferry and we took it to Manhattan and back here to Staten Island, to Manhattan, back and forth. When we were in Manhattan, we ended up talking with at least a couple of, 3 people. One person in particular says, you know what, she's just embracing this cold.
It's very icy. Some of the sidewalks and some of the roads are still kind of messed up from the storm. So it's just bundling up, wearing a lot of layers, double socks, double pants, double sweaters. So you really just have to make sure you bundle up because it's dangerous. You know, you don't want to get sick either.
It is dangerous. You know, and the high today is going to be 21 degrees. That's 20 degrees below average. But let's look at the danger cold for tomorrow because this is on everybody's radar. You know, it's going to be wind chills, negative 17 degrees. So what do you have to do? Make sure that you have any exposed skin, you want to cover it. Anything on your face, make sure you wear gloves. And if you have to be outside, just do it quickly, or you can, if you need to get warm, head somewhere in a public place like the Staten Island Ferry Terminal or any other place that you can just kind of hang out and stay warm. Back to you guys.
Reagan, thank you. Now you can run in there and go get warm real quick before your next live shot. It's cold everywhere. You know, all the New Yorkers, I know this time of year, you're taking the express down to Florida, right, to get some warmth. Not even in Miami. There is actually a big thermometer. We're looking down on Ocean Drive and thermometer in Miami. And there's a big thermometer down here that everyone is stopping and taking a picture with it. That's hilarious. It's in the 50s, mid-50s right now, 56 degrees in Miami at the moment. And that's about as warm as we will get today. And then tomorrow morning, Samantha, we are talking cold, even record-breaking cold, all the way into Florida.
Yeah, I mean, we could see freezing temperatures almost all the way across the Sunshine State here. Look at some of these temperatures that we're forecasting that could be records. Jacksonville, 25, Tampa, 33, 37 in West Palm Beach. That will break the old record by 5 if that happens and it verifies. So lows tomorrow down below freezing in places like Orlando. Another chilly start to the day on Saturday, but not quite as cold as we will be on our Friday. And those temperatures settling in for the afternoon for sure. Temperatures some 23 degrees below average in Orlando, 20 below in Miami. That's why they're taking pictures out there of the thermometer sign. And in Orlando, 16 degrees below average tomorrow. And of course, a lot going on in Orlando this weekend with vacationers and half marathon runners like Jen Carfagno is going to be there on Sunday running the Princess Run, and those temperatures are going to be a little on the nippy side to start, but up to 82 by the finish.
So you think all auto glass companies are the same? Well, they're not. When your windshield needs to be replaced, nobody makes it as worry-free as Safelite. First, Safelite emails a photo of the technician, so you know who to expect and how soon.
Right on time.
Safelite's one-of-a-kind True Seal technology places a new glass in perfect position for a strong, reliable bond you can trust.
Oh, that looks great.
You're all set.
Thank you so much.
Schedule now to get the Safelite Advantage.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Thanks for the ride around Norfolk, and I just wanted to say Geico is proud to have served the military for over 75 years.
Roger that. Captain's waiting to give you a tour of the Wisconsin now.
Could have parked a little bit closer. It's going to be dark by the time I get there.
Geico, proudly serving the military for over 75 years.
Are you embarrassed by your constant losing battle with calloused feet? You've tried filing and scraping, and your feet still are not smooth. Introducing the amazing Personal Petty. Just one press, and Personal Petty does all the rest. You just roll the callus away with the rotating micro mineral that quickly removes hard, ugly calluses, leaving your feet callus-free. Then finish with the buffing roller. Buff, smooth, and massage your feet. It looks and feels so good. Look, you went from this to this, and it felt like a foot massage. And to clean, remove the roller and rinse underwater. The secret is the 1800 RPM rotation of the mineral roller that loosens and lifts the hard, ugly calluses. The smoothing roller leaves a polished, perfect look and feel.
When I first used the Personal Petty, I knew it was the real deal. It saves time, it does a great job, and my feet feel so good, and I'm not afraid to wear my sexy heels again.
This revolutionary foot care system is waterproof, so you can use right in the shower.
I just don't have time to battle with my calluses all day. Now that I can do it in the shower, it's part of my daily routine.
Just look at the difference.
I cannot remember the last time my heels were soft. Now, with my Personal Petty, they look and feel amazing.
With the Personal Petty, you can even remove those stubborn hand calluses. Look, gone right before your eyes. Order your Personal Petty with removal roller plus smooth and polish roller, all for only $19.95. But hold on, replacement rollers can be expensive. Order today and receive your free lifetime replacement certificate for both rollers. You heard right. You'll get the Personal Petty kit with 2 rollers, plus the lifetime replacement certificate, and our 90-day satisfaction callus-free guarantee, all for only $19.95. This offer is not available in stores. Order now.
To get your Personal Petty, call 1-800-715-0494. This offer is not available in stores, so call 1-800-715-0494. That's 1-800-715-0494 and order your Personal Petty today.
Weather invention.
Wow, anybody else surprised it actually worked?
It was hard to believe weather could do that.
Mother Nature can absolutely change people.
A wind chill advisory is in effect. Currently in our area, 54 degrees under sunny skies. Today, sunny and windy. High 58. Winds northwest at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Tonight, some clouds this evening will give way to mainly clear skies overnight. Low 37. Friday, partly cloudy. High 66. Winds north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
One man's trash did the work. Is another man's totally awesome beer can space heater.
Hi. Brainstormers, premiering Sunday, March 22nd, only on the Weather Channel.
I'm an ice sculptor, and ice sculpting is definitely my passion. I drive past this huge piece of ice that is naturally formed out of the overpass here. It was actually the whole middle of the sculpture is natural ice. I just added the 2 sides, the left and the right.
He saw some ice and he had to sculpt it. We got folks getting creative with the recent ice, like Don Harrison right here in Philadelphia.
I think it's cool he's an ice sculptor because he looks like an ice sculptor with ice on his eyelashes and his beard. He made a design, he got his tools, he went to work, he shaved, he chipped, and he created an ice goddess. People who were stuck in traffic, they just loved it. He got a lot of warm waves and smiles from all the passersby there. So thank you for staying with us for Weather Center Live. I'm Samantha Moore.
And I'm Jen Carfagno. So we've got the cold and the ice, but we also have the snow. And, you know, the superlatives keep racking up. We keep looking for new ways to tell the story. So for Boston and all the snow that you got, here's something new you might not have heard yet. We have had the fastest 90 inches of snow on record. It took 23 days to get to that here here in Boston as our recent batch of snow that we've had. Now you go back to our big years in 93 and 94. It took 78 days, 86 days back in 95 and 96. So this is tremendously ahead of those paces.
That's an amazing statistic. Never seen anything quite like that. Chris Warren is in Boston, where they just beat their #2 spot. So you're #2 now in terms of the second snowiest season on record, Chris.
And Samantha and Jen, on that point, think about that. To get 90 inches of snow in less than a month, when the other two big seasons, it took about 2 months or 3 months. So because of that, all of that happening in about 3 weeks, you end up with so much snow on the ground. So, you get some cleared away, you're walking along, and then here's some water. This is what is going to be an issue in the coming days, weeks, months for people in Boston when the snow melts. This is not snow melt right here. This is what they're calling a wicked high tide right now. And so what you have to do is try to find a way to get around it. If you're trying to get to the place you're trying to go to, you have to find a way to get around. And whether it's just getting from the sidewalk to the street with a puddle of water, which I saw a lot of that yesterday, or in this case, you have to get up in the snow and hope you don't sink any deeper. And that's what you deal with here. And then you get around to the other side. Just that little bit takes a lot of energy. And imagine just trying to get to work. So once the streets are plowed, the sidewalks are plowed, there will be bigger problems, Maria, we know, once the big melt really starts to take effect. But again, this is seawater and a high tide because we're next to the harbor. But that big melt's going to be a big concern in the coming days.
It's just amazing and mind-blowing. Just think how much water is locked up in all of that snow. Chris, beautifully demonstrating all of that. Yeah, but that is definitely a concern over the next few days. Here in Nashville, the last few have been all about the iciness, and they're still trying to get out from the deep freeze. Not helping the fact that we went down all the way to 5 degrees officially at the airport. That tied a record low for the date, and we may actually break the record low high temperature with our high forecast only to near 20 degrees. Coldest high temperature for this date used to be 26, so it looks like that one may be staying intact. I want to show you that despite the sunshine, what the cold is doing here. We're right in front of the Nashville Symphony, and they've been out trying to salt everything, but imagine it's a lot of territory. It's the ice. We still have now, 4 days after the storm, ice coating the sidewalks. Not only that, unfortunately, it's still encasing neighborhoods, so it is still very difficult for everyone to get out and about, which the city, which thrives on tourism and artists and music, it is tough to get people into the bars and the restaurants to hear all of that great music. So that was the goal yesterday for a lot of the road crews that were out. Power outages, at least in Nashville, have not been too much of an issue. The latest update that we had was down to about 80 customers without power as of this morning. But because of that, the mayor has been asking residents to check on their neighbors who may be at risk. And speaking of the at-risk population, there are a number of places that are open for people to seek shelter from the cold. And Mike and Sam, you know that with the winter storm watch that will be going into effect here, that next round of wintry weather, nobody is looking forward to that. It's going to be a tough next few 24, 48 hours here in Nashville. Back to you.
Yeah, that start is going to be really rough. Thank you, Maria. Mike Bettis, our expert here, talking about how you're going to get that frozen mix ahead of the rain. And it's that I-40 corridor once again.
It's really tough. I think that stretch between Nashville, where Maria is, and back toward Little Rock, it's really dicey tomorrow. And then after that, I think things improve for us quite a bit. But we've gone through a tough week already. Here's the deal. It's so colorful on that stretch of interstate right here, right? So purple, that's going to indicate where we have freezing rain. So it'll fall as liquid rain for you in Little Rock tomorrow, but the ground temperature is going to be pretty cold, down to the mid-20s, so we're likely to see just everything coated in ice tomorrow. Completely not a shocker if they cancel schools tomorrow in Little Rock. In fact, I think they should. If you go over into Memphis, it'll probably start as freezing rain, then go over to sleet, so it'll be little ice pellets that start to fall here for it. That'll probably happen after the kids get to school, so the drive home is going to be a mess. I think they're going to cancel school in Memphis. They've already done it in Nashville, and wise to do that because they'll probably be all of those things, freezing, rain, sleet, but I think that Nashville has a better chance of getting all snow, too.
Okay, all snow. And then later transitioning over to all rain as the weekend gets underway?
Yes, I think then once the low lifts north of us, we start to get a little bit more warmer influence, maybe a little bit more southerly flow of air, a split jet stream flow here, and there's that flow. That's going to bring the moisture, so that's why we'll have the rain in Little Rock, but the surface temperatures are cold because this warm air kind of rides up and over top of that front, and you've got cold air at the surfaces, so that's why it freezes.
Rain.
But also notice this, Sam, so much going on in the south. We've also got a thunderstorm threat as we go into the weekend, so places like New Orleans, the Gulf Coast here, the coastal Mississippi. I mean, these are all places that'll have pretty heavy rain, not to mention the Mid-South eventually converts over to that rain, and we get quite a bit. It all pushes eastbound. We go Saturday into Sunday, so now it's Alabama's turn, it's Georgia's turn into the Carolinas. We had bigger concerns earlier in the week for frozen precip. It's all rain for you this time. Charlotte, it's all rain for you in Atlanta and places like Raleigh, so I don't think you've got a concern with winter weather. You've really got to go into elevation to see any changes there, but look how much rain will pump out after the snow and after the sleet. 2 to 3 inches of rain. Flooding could be an issue in places like Memphis or Nashville.
Okay, we'll be watching for that possibility. Thank you so much. We sure appreciate it. Jen?
All right, well, the cold is definitely locked in, though, across the Midwest. And the Siberian Express bringing cold temperatures, record-breaking temperatures to the Midwest, including this morning. So let's take a look. Chicago, one of those record-breaking spots. What a beautiful sky out there, Chicago, which is best observed from inside your house or office and looking out the window. It is frigid, to say the least. Temperatures are below zero, even at this point. We made it down to 8 below in Chicago. New record for us, breaking the old record set back in 1936. And you look at all these records in Cincinnati, in Detroit, and Louisville. These are some old daily records that we broke in all of these spots this morning. So record-breaking cold, and it's colder at this time right now than it was at this time yesterday in Detroit, in Chicago, in St. Louis, and that's really the case throughout parts of the Ohio Valley and the East, seeing a bit of a warm-up in parts of North and South Dakota. However, it's still going to be cold, even though you're slightly warmer than yesterday there, and cold everywhere. Chicago, only 4, only 5 in Detroit, only 5. These are high temperatures for today and throughout the Ohio Valley and the Midwest. And Chicago, for us, these single-digit high temperatures is a big deal. It's actually the coldest that we've had late season high temperatures in the single digits this chilly in 52 years. You go back to 1963 for the last time that we saw one day that cold for a high temperature, but the back-to-back single-digit high temperatures this chilly, you go back to 1936. That's the last time we saw that in Chicago, and we are doing it right now. Sam.
Well, what if I told you there have been more record highs set this week than record lows? Even as the eastern half of the country deals with Siberian cold, record-breaking heat is dominating the West. A tale of two extremes is next.
A wind chill advisory is in effect. Currently in our area, 55 degrees under sunny skies. Today, sunny and windy. High 58. Winds northwest at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Tonight, some clouds this evening will give way to mainly clear skies overnight. Low 37. Friday, partly cloudy. High 66. Winds north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Hey neighbor, Ace is having a 20% off store-wide thank you sale. So stop by Ace this Saturday only and get 20% off almost anything you can fit in a bag as our way of saying thanks for being our neighbor.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Grandpa Bodie, Grandma said you used to be out of control.
Really? I guess I did take some risks. I trained a little bit differently. I was a little too honest sometimes. The media is useless.
You were out of control.
But not always.
Heartburn.
Did someone say burn? Try Alka-Seltzer Relief Chews. They work just as fast and are proven to taste better than Tums Smoothies assorted fruit.
Amazing.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Chews. Enjoy the relief.
Oh, man. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're covered, Harry.
You got to do it like this. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, George. Hey, Jim.
State Farm agents are there whenever you need them.
Back support. If you need it, you know it. Introducing CopperFit Back Pro, the ultimate copper-infused compression garment for maximum lower back muscle support.
I played 20 years in the National Football League. No one took a beating like I did. As soon as I put on CopperFit, I could feel the support. Oh, yeah. This feels good.
Designed to provide everyday support, comfort, and relief for lower back muscles.
As soon as I put it on, I felt an immediate change. The support was amazing.
I'll put it on and almost instantly it just makes it go away. It's like magic.
I'm more mobile. I get to move around better.
I feel like I can just do whatever I want, whenever I want, as fast as I want.
Keeps all those muscles back there relaxed.
I've had more energy. My kids can't keep up with me now.
High-performance compression fabric infused with the powerful properties of copper.
Hey, I pushed this belt to the max, and it's performed at the highest level. I put it through everything but getting hit. Oh, no, you don't. And it passed the test. Oh, man, I still got it. It feels great, you know. I'm able to do all the things I've done before. Where was this when I was playing in the National Football League?
A slick, form-fit design for greater mobility creates a perfect fit for any size body.
I was a little skeptical, but once I put it on and wore it, then I saw the results.
When you can't do the things that you imagine, it starts to get frustrating and depressing, and now this has given me a new confidence.
Call 1-800-671-7507 or on the web at copperfitback.com. For only $19.99, you'll receive one lightweight back belt, form fit for your size and comfort. Order right now, and your shipping is free.
There's no reason to torture yourself. Put the product on, give it a try, you're going to feel better.
Look, if you want the power to stay active, then you want CopperFit.
Experience the relief of compression support. Feel the power of CopperFit Back.
Here's critically important news for small business owners. Financing is now available in as little as 3 days. Trusted national lender Rapid Advance understands that small businesses need working capital to seize opportunities. That's why tens of thousands of small businesses have found the funding they need to grow with Rapid Advance. Rapid Advance provides financing up to $500,000. Approvals take as little as 1 day, and funds are available in as little as 3 days. If you've been in business for at least 1 year, call 877-GO-RAPID or visit rapidadvance.com.
Well, thank you for staying with us on Weather Center Live. And one thing staying with us, unfortunately, is the flu bug.
Yeah, look how many states are still looking at widespread flu outbreaks. And really, is there anything worse than being sick in bed in the dead of winter?
So let's get right to what's true and what's not about how flu spreads. Here's Sam Champion with today's edition of Brainstorm.
The flu vaccine is still the #1 best way to control the illness. But misconceptions about the vaccine run rampant every flu season. As many people think, it can actually cause the flu. This is part of the reason why as many as 175 million Americans each year opt out of the flu shot. Flu claims over 23,000 lives a year on average. That according to the Centers for Disease Control. Also from the CDC, the flu vaccine is still the #1 best way to control the illness. The truth is, the vaccine does work by injecting up to 4 flu virus strains into the body. This allows the immune system's 50 billion B and T cells, the body's specialized defenders, to become used to the virus and produce antibodies tailored to fight the flu. However, the viruses in the vaccine are actually dead, which means they cannot give you the flu. But it can take the immune system about 2 weeks to build up the proper antibodies, meaning there is a period shortly after vaccination where you could still catch the flu from others. Another common misconception, antibiotics can be used to fight the flu. But antibiotics only target the 5 nonillion bacterial organisms that can give us a slew of bacterial infections. 5 nonillion. That's 5 followed by 30 zeros. But since the flu is caused by a virus, which is genetic material very different from bacteria, antibiotics completely pass it by and don't work to fight it. Our last misunderstanding is that the elderly are the only ones at risk for the flu. Now, while it's true that 90% of the average flu deaths occur in people 65 years and older, the fact is 57% of patients hospitalized annually with the flu are between 18 and 64 years old. That's an average of 114,000 people in the healthiest years of their lives, occupying the equivalent of every single hospital bed in the states of New York and Florida combined. And you've been brainstormed. Sam Champion, The Weather Channel.
Okay, all this talk about the cold we've had, believe it or not, we've actually had more record highs than we have had record lows.
I think this speaks to the pattern that we're in. To get this much and this depth of cold across the east, we have to have a big ridge in the west that brings us heat. And we've seen nearly 600 warm record high temperatures being set in the last week compared to 422 cold ones.
It's just making headlines just because it's so dramatically cold.
And it's impactful for sure.
It is.
20 record highs to 17 record lows, just comparing yesterday to this morning. And the heat in the west has been notable, and it has been widespread, and it also has been significant too, well above average, just like we are well below average in the east.
Yeah, the departures from normal even more impactful, like you said, with the very, very cold air in the east, but warm in the west. In fact, it's already started to affect animal behavior. They're saying the bald eagles that tend to nest in the East Salt Lake, they've actually already flown north for the changing season. They think it's spring already. There's only 6 of them left out of the 30 that were there just a few weeks ago.
Salt Lake City is almost the poster child, right, for this winter, the lack of winter in the west. They've had such a warm stretch here. I think 16 out of 17 days in Salt Lake City have had warnings that started 50 degrees or warmer. But we're going to see a pattern change for you by the time we get into the weekend and coming back down to average into the 40s.
That's going to be good news, and a little bit of snow in their forecast for the weekend as well. Well, the winter weather update is coming up next.
That's right, and we'll have that with Mike Bettis talking about the next winter storm in the east. But as we go to break, let's give you a getaway here, a break from the cold. This is a live look at Catalina Island in California.
How beautiful is that? Of course, it is a short boat ride there from Los Angeles where folks can get away, or from San Diego.
And you know what? Temperatures today, I think, are probably going to be getting into the 70s. It's been so warm out here, and it continues again today.
Rainstorm brought to you by Alka-Seltzer Plus Cold and Cough.
I have the flu with a runny nose. Better take something.
Theraflu Severe Cold won't treat your runny nose.
Really?
Alka-Seltzer Severe Cold and Flu relieves your worst flu symptoms plus runny nose.
Oh, what a relief it is.
Mommy!
Doers. They don't worry if something's possible. They just do it. At Sears Optical, we're committed to bringing them eyewear that works as hard as they do. Right now, buy one pair and get another free. Quality eyewear for doers. Sears Optical.
Guess what goes really well with eggs? Pillsbury Grand's biscuits make breakfast even better. Grand's biscuits make breakfast pop.
Atlantic Beach, Florida.
Oh, love it.
Houma, Louisiana.
Oh, fantastic food. Carefree, Arkansas.
Been there.
Louisville, Texas.
Done that. Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Phil and I go way back. Love that little animal.
Weekday mornings, Jim Cantori, Sam Champion, and Jennifer Delgado on AMHQ, starting at 7.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here, and that's just Sam.
Weekday mornings at 7, only on the Weather Channel.
A wind chill advisory is in effect. Currently in our area, 55 degrees under sunny skies. Today, sunny and windy. High 58. Winds northwest at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Tonight, some clouds this evening will give way to mainly clear skies overnight. Low 37. Friday, partly cloudy. High 66. Winds north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Heartburn alert! Stop! Nexium can take 24 hours to work. Zantac's different. Zantac rushes relief in as little as 30 minutes. For relief without the wait, try Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
Looks like 20 feet.
At Intel, they have this technology. You can take a picture and measure the distance before you jump.
Intel, this is where it all changes.
According to the U.S. Department of Energy, most homes have air leaks and drafts that waste so much energy, it's like leaving a window open in your home all year long. Don't let another year go by. Call Champion Windows at 844-4CHAMPION. And right now, when you buy 2 rooms of windows, you get the 3rd room free. Plus, Champion now offers no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. So call 844-4CHAMPION today. Because every home needs a champion.
I'm Eric.
And I'm Lindsay.
And today is day number 1
of our
Hydroxycut transformation.
Because we're going all the way. I lost 32 pounds.
And I lost 44 pounds.
Hydroxycut, it really works.
Hydroxycut is America's #1 selling weight loss supplement brand.
Lose weight your way.
Mix and match gummies, tablets, and drink mix.
How well do you know your local UPS store? You may already know about our expert packing and shipping services and our other products like notary, mailbox, and printing services. But did you know we have online printing too? Now you can get 20% off all print products at our online print store. Just enter the special web address below. The UPS Store online printing website lets you create and design professional business cards, flyers, presentations, and more, all from your computer. You'll also have access to a variety of products to help your small business stand out. Visit us online and choose from thousands of templates or upload your own document. Then start designing and let your print materials go to work for your small business. Hurry, this amazing deal ends February 28th. Go to upsstoreprint.com/TV16 today to get 20% off our online print products. Just one more reason, the UPS Store is your small business resource.
Minute to start your benefits.
Call 888-997-1426 now.
So let's go! When you go out there, it's dangerous.
There's some breaking news coming in from Boston where apparently an animal rescue is underway.
So we're looking at a view from a chopper, which I believe has landed. In the area right now, we have temperatures in the 20s. It's dry, and we have fairly light winds at about 3 miles per hour. And I think we can see two rescuers right there out on the ice.
Apparently, this is a marshy area, so it doesn't freeze over completely because there's some brine, some salt in the water, and thank goodness they're out there trying to rescue this poor animal that apparently has fallen in.
We're again looking at these views here, and it appears to be ice covered, but as Sam, you alluded to, sort of the briny water of a marsh doesn't freeze over completely, and no doubt there are spots that are not frozen.
Very tricky to navigate those areas where it's frozen and then all of a sudden is not. It's tricky for humans, and it's especially tricky for animals who aren't aware that, hey, maybe it's not going to be frozen my next step out there. So hopefully they will be successful in their rescue efforts. And winter weather all over the eastern third of the nation with the cold and the ice, like here in Boston, but 29 degrees, it could be worse actually.
Yeah,
in terms of the cold
weather conditions. We are in between storms here in Boston, and we are watching this situation live just as you are at home. Again, watching the rescue of, we believe, a dog that is trapped in the ice here in a marsh in the Boston area. Do we have any more information about exactly where this is? Revere. This is in Revere, Massachusetts.
And the rescue workers were deployed out there. This video coming to us from one of the choppers here in the area, from WHDH News Chopper, up trying to find out more about the story. and seeing if they can somehow, if the rescue workers can actually reach the animal. It looks like they may be pulling the dog in right now. Somehow they've gotten a hold of him.
I'm having a hard time seeing too. It seems very foggy, and I don't know if that's the camera or if it is foggy in the area.
And the snow's blowing around a little bit here, so it is making it a little difficult for us to make out. But once again, this in Boston, where an animal had wandered out onto the ice and then fallen through a thinner spot and falling into that paralyzing cold water. I'm sure that water, even though it's not, you know, totally frozen over, is very close to freezing anyway, so it wouldn't take long for hypothermia to set in.
So we'll keep following that story and, of course, bring you an update if there is one. But let's focus on the next storm up for really, the Southeast, the Midwest, and the Northeast.
And it all started with the cold air. You know, we get this cold air that came over, you know, the North Pole and right into the U.S. And it's cold all the way down to the Gulf Coast. We were just talking about it. When it's cold, when you've got the warming centers in Miami, it's cold.
You know,
the first time we've actually been down into the 30s, what we're forecasting tonight in 5 years. So there's a look at, I think, a very interesting map where you have these purple and we have these blues on the map. That's where you have some of that really cold air, and where you have the oranges and the yellows and the greens on the map. That's where you have precipitable water, how much water you would get if every water vapor molecule was precipitated out of the clouds or a column of air. Where the two get together, that's where you likely have some snow. Very interesting. I'm going to walk you through this. I'm going to take you into a place like Little Rock, right in here, okay? You notice how the blues have retreated, but the greens move in? We'll have surface temperatures, by the way, that are cold enough so as this falls, it falls as just freezing rain. Falls as liquid, freezes on contact. And then as we advance this just a little bit, we take over in Memphis and Nashville, where now the blues and the greens get together. So now we're talking sleet, we're talking snow. And then we go later in the day on Saturday. Now the greens and the blues have really gotten together here across the Midwest. That means full-fledged snow now. And notice now we're getting a little bit warmer surge from the south into the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. We will start as some snow here in the Northeast on Saturday evening, and then it looks like strong enough southerly surge and enough rain with the cold air displaced back to the west that may convert over to just plain old rain before maybe then converting back to snow. It's a complicated forecast in the Northeast, to say the least. And how about this forecast across the Mid-South and then the Midwest? A lot of ice in our forecast, especially a place like Little Rock and over toward Memphis. Little Rock, there's that forecast. Icy conditions through the morning, may not wrap up till around lunchtime, and then it's warm enough where it's rain after that. And there's the forecast for icy weather throughout the day in Memphis. Be careful tomorrow. It's going to be very slick.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mike. We appreciate that.
All right, let's take a look at a picture that's been on Twitter this morning. This is amazing out of Greenville, North Carolina. That is ice that was covering the front of a Jeep. We are back in 60 seconds.
A wind chill advisory is in effect. Currently in our area, 55 degrees under sunny skies. Today, sunny and windy. High 58. Winds northwest at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Tonight, some clouds this evening will give way to mainly clear skies overnight. Low 37. Friday, partly cloudy. High 66. Winds north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Right now on Weather Center Live, dangerous. I'm telling you about brutal, life-threatening conditions. This is not your typical cold.
And adding insult to injury, we are tracking a 5th consecutive weekend winter storm. Not only will it bring snow and ice, but severe weather a potential as well.
But you're doing exactly what you should be doing, staying inside and watching the Weather Channel. We're working very hard to make sure that there are no weather surprises for you and your family in the coming days. We will tell you when it's safe to go back out.
It starts right here, right now on Weather Center Live.
Thank you for joining us for Weather Center Live. I'm Vivian Brown.
And I'm Mark Elliott. And Viv, as we work to keep families safe out there today, we want to start with this intense cold that we're dealing with.
Yeah, we're talking about the coldest air we felt in at least a decade for most, but pretty much a century for some. Talk about records over 100 years old.
Yeah, any way you slice it, from the Midwest to the Gulf, it is cold. And that might be the understatement of the day. Folks braving the elements in Minneapolis. Chicago, you are shaking in your boots. You are finding ways to show the cold. In Philadelphia, and stepping outside was a slap in the face today, even as far south as Atlanta. Some of this cold air is going all the way down to the Gulf. Viv, it's cold out there.
Yes, we are talking about the Siberian Express as this cold air comes on in across the region. We've been dealing with this cold air for quite a while, and now it is really making its way even to parts of the deep south, not only across the Tennessee Valley, but even down into Florida with this extremely cold air. Look at the big dip in the jet stream, again, allowing that cold air from Siberia and the North Pole and the Arctic to come on down, and you can see the purples and the pinks, and that's indicating where the core of the coldest airs is. Afternoon highs will be running a good 15 to 30 degrees below average. Check out tomorrow morning, or actually this morning, we dropped down to 15 degrees in the Atlanta area, 13 in Memphis, Tennessee, and look at Cleveland, 2 degrees this morning, but 8 below in Chicago. Now tomorrow morning, that cold air will make its way all the way to the New England coast. Boston will be waking up to 1 degree, 2 degrees in New York City. And again, we could be flirting with some record low temperatures tomorrow, even in New York. Now, the record is 7 degrees, but we're forecasting only 2 degrees. Mark?
Well, as far south as Miami, you are feeling the cold. And notice that camera bumping around a little bit as we look live on Miami. Yeah, that's the Arctic front that's pushing through. The wind is whipping. You're actually under a wind chill advisory this morning, and you will be again late tonight through tomorrow morning. It could be one of the coldest nights in years for South Florida as we work our way through the night. Of course, cold is relative, but it is cold even by South Florida standards. South Florida is not nearly as bone-numbingly cold as it is in the north, but as reporter Julia Bragg shows us, the cold and the wind are things that those living in South Florida are just not used to facing.
Well, when you think of South Beach, you think of a nice warm spot on the sand, but not the case today, especially with the wind this morning that's just pounding through this area. Let me show you it ripping through these plants. It kind of gives you an idea. That making everything feel colder here this morning. And we're talking about highs for today that are some 15 to 20 degrees below average. We may even be breaking some records here over the next few days. Lows for tonight in the 30s. That is just unheard of for people in Miami, something that always catches us off guard. So lots of people this morning very, very bundled up, though I have seen a few brave souls in t-shirts and shorts. You won't catch me walking around like that, though. And of course, not a lot of people just walking around on Lincoln Road here like they normally do, just leisurely. Most people trying to make it right into work and duck inside so you can escape this cold. Of course, nothing like what our friends up north are experiencing, but for us, cold temperatures like this are always an event, and even if we know they're coming, it's always a shock to the system. From Miami Beach, Julia Bragg, back to you.
Thanks, Julia. Yeah, definitely a shock, that's for sure. This winter just refuses to go away. Another winter storm on the way, and Mike Bettis is in the lab to talk about how it all starts with that cold air that's in place, Mike.
It really does. It's been locked in place for weeks now, Mark, and it's finally going to retreat, but probably not before the next storm rolls in. Let's show you exactly what we're going to fast forward and show you what happens Saturday, especially for the Midwest and into the Northeast. See all the blue on the map, see all the pink on the map. That's where we have snow. That's where we have sleet in the forecast. But notice also how far north the green on the map goes, and that's rain. That goes as far north as Kentucky. So we think it's a slam dunk for, in some spots here in the Ohio Valley, half a foot of snow that rolls into the Northeast, but will be overtaken by rain eventually because we get this surge of warm air out ahead of a low that's going to sit right about in here and keep keep in mind it's a counterclockwise flow around a low, and so we surge ahead of that warmer air. So for a place like New York, a place like Boston, it's a tricky forecast where we start probably as snow, go over to rain, maybe briefly go back to snow. But here's a look at the snowfall forecast through Sunday. Heavier snow back across the Ohio Valley and then interior Northeast, where some spots may get as much as 8 inches of snow. For a place like New York and then up toward Boston, it could be a 1 to 3 incher. But then it's the rain that comes in after that may aid in the melt and keep your snow totals down just a bit. Let's take you through this then, hour by hour in a place like New York. Starting Saturday evening, okay, we're going to begin as snow, maybe even a brief period here of a wintry mix or sleet. That could last for a few hours, and that's why we have that 1 to 3 inch accumulation for you. But notice, by early morning on Sunday, the temperature rises up above freezing, and it stays above that all the way through the evening. Look at 6 o'clock's temperature. We'll be 43 degrees with rain, but by the time the sun sets, we go back cool enough that it could mix back over to some rain and snow. Primarily at this point, it looks like a rain event for you in New York, and I think we're going to keep the totals as far as snow down just a bit. For Hartford, very similar forecast. Begins as snow, converts over to rain, and then there's a longer period of a rain-snow mix because your temperatures are just a little bit cooler than they were in New York. For a place like Boston, longer period of snow, so make it a little bit more snow in Boston. Then we go over to the rain. Then we go back to snow. Complicated forecast to say the least, but this is not an epic snowstorm for the ages. More back on
This program brought to you by Sylvania Silver Star Ultra Headlights for Ultra Night Vision, engineered to keep you safer on the road.
You do a lot to keep your family safe at home. So make sure they're safer on the road. See farther, wider, better. Upgrade to Silver Star Ultra Headlights from Sylvania.
Hello?
Hey, I noticed your car's not in the driveway.
Yeah, it's in the shop. It's gonna cost me an arm and a leg.
That's hilarious.
Sorry.
You should have taken it to Midas. Get some of that Midas touch. I'll tell you what stuff needs fixing and what stuff can wait.
All right. Next time, going to Midas.
High five. Did not see that coming.
Trust the Midas Touch for brakes, tires, oil, everything.
Now everyone who uses catheters can get a better catheter with Liberator Medical's free catheter sample pack. These new catheters are better than ever, easier to use, more convenient, comfortable, virtually pain-free. Don't wait. Call now and get your free catheter sample pack. There's the all-new compact catheter for women, pre-lubricated, no drips, no mess, fits in your purse. The self-lubricated catheter, it lubricates itself in the package, comfortable, no mess. The closed system catheter, pre-lubricated with its own collection bag, proven to reduce UTIs. The discreet pocket catheter, curved to fit in your pocket to go anywhere. The polished eyelet catheter for micro-smooth comfort, reduces friction and pain. Call now. We'll also bill Medicare and your insurance for you. Call for your free catheter sample pack with free shipping. Call Liberator Medical.
Call 1-800-601-3450. That's 1-800-601-3450.
3,000 years of history waiting to be discovered.
Body was found this morning.
Do we have any suspects yet?
It's my job to find out what happened. It's time.
Someone wants to find it or died trying.
Dig, Thursday, March 5th at 10 on USA.
A wind chill advisory is in effect. Currently in our area, 55 degrees under sunny skies. Today, sunny and windy. High 58. Winds northwest at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Tonight, some clouds this evening will give way to mainly clear skies overnight. Low 37. Friday, partly cloudy. High 66. Winds north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook. So we've got like 60 years of experience here. And that's just Sam.
Jim Cantori, now on AMHQ. Weekday mornings at 7.
How about over there?
What does it mean to have an unlimited mileage warranty on a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz? What does it mean to drive as far as you want for up to 3 years and be covered? It means your odometer is there to record the memories. During the Mercedes-Benz Certified Pre-Owned Sales event, now through March 2nd, you'll get complimentary prepaid maintenance and receive your first 2 months' payments on us, only at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer.
Sometimes at last doesn't happen at first.
Your dad just kissed my mom.
Turning two worlds into one takes love. Helping protect that world takes State Farm.
You know, there's a more enjoyable way to get your fiber. Try Phillips Fiber Good Gummies. They're delicious and a good source of fiber to help support regularity.
These are good.
The tasty side of fiber from Phillips.
Hey, neighbor. Ace is having a 20% off store-wide thank you sale. So stop by Ace this Saturday only and get 20% off almost anything you can fit in a bag as our way of saying thanks for being our neighbor.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
All right, it is a cold time of it in the Pittsburgh area. Temperatures right now in the single digits. You factor in the winds and it feels like it's below zero. 12 below, that's the current wind chill. Definitely in the grips of this bitter cold air. Let's see how long it's going to last. More details, here's Mark.
You know, Viv, we have record-breaking cold across so much of the country, right? I mean, this Siberian Express is giving us widespread record low temperatures. We've already had about 20 of them so far today. There's more records on the way. Look at the potential here. From what we had already today through Saturday, over 100 new record lows may be set in the eastern third of the country because of this cold air. I mean, look at this. Our front has gone all the way off the eastern seaboard, all the way down through South Florida and across into the Gulf. Anywhere north of there, dealing with these really cold readings. Look at this for Friday morning, right? Pittsburgh, you'll be starting out your day at 9 below zero, 9 below. Binghamton, 10 below. Baltimore, 1 below zero. It doesn't happen all that often that Atlantic City gets below zero, but it has that potential for Friday morning. As we slide down the I-95 corridor, we can see Richmond will be at 3, Charlotte at 8 to start off your day. And this cold air does go all the way down through the Gulf Coast. Look at Florida, Tallahassee, 25, Fort Myers, 33. There's our front going right through Miami. Key West, 50 degrees. Miami, you'll be in the 30s. My goodness, it is going to be cold. Look at some of these records that are in jeopardy, right? New York City, our forecast, 2. That beats the record of 7 from back in 1931. This record has been there an extremely long time. We can look in Washington, D.C. It looks like we're going to shatter the record. This is all the way back from 1896. 1896. Unbelievable for that record. 4 degrees, shattering the record of 8. We can look like Atlanta will tie the record of 16, and all the way down through Florida. This is so impressive. Orlando, 31. So below freezing in Orlando. You haven't done that on this date since 1958. Viv, over to you.
You know, it's cold when it's that cold in Orlando, for sure. Now, although the weather outside is frightful, the good people in Boston are dealing with it as best they can. And what you're about to see is an example of the best they can.
Oh, hello. I'm Rick Adams, and I'm taking a look at your emails and posts to the Weather Channel. And look, we get it. Everyone's fed up with the snow, except for this guy.
Oh, yes! 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 We got it, baby!
He loves it. That's how you jump in the snow.
No.
No, that's not how you do it. What are you doing? The development of the human race really hit an all-time low this week, thanks to the hashtag Boston Blizzard Challenge. The challenge being, can you find your brain? And the answer is no. No and no. In fact, things got so bad in Boston that the mayor had to remind the adults that they were in fact adults.
First of all, it's a foolish thing to do, and you could kill yourself. So I'm asking people to stop the nonsense right now when it comes. These are adults jumping out windows.
Good point, especially when you consider that diving into unknown depths is one of the leading causes of spinal cord injury and paralysis. Whatever happened to common sense? You know, that part of your mind that says, don't put your hand on the hot stove, don't drink the toilet water, and don't dive into deep snow because...
Does this really look like a cool idea to you? Rick Adams, The Weather Channel. All I need now is a simple...
It's an idea, all right. Viv, I don't know about you. I don't think I'm jumping out of any windows anytime soon.
Oh, me either. We're definitely together in weather on that. You will not see me doing anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Wild.
Okay.
In any case, you know, you just have to kind of like do one of those as we see that. As we go to break here, we want to talk about the brutal wind chills. Look at some of these readings, right? 17 below, 19 below in Chicago. That's right now, Viv.
Okay, 14 below in Cincinnati. Really some cold stuff. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
So you think all auto glass companies are the same? Well, they're not. When your windshield needs to be replaced, nobody makes it as worry-free as Safelite. First, Safelite emails a photo of the technician, so you know who to expect and how soon.
Right on time.
Safelite's one-of-a-kind True Seal technology places a new glass in perfect position for a strong, reliable bond you can trust.
Oh, that looks great.
You're all set?
Thank you so much.
Schedule now to get the Safelite Advantage.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
I was a single mom looking for a man, not only for myself, but for my son.
eHarmony, I think, is the only dating website that could bring something to me, the exact kind of person I was looking for.
Stop waiting. Start communicating for free today.
Ring, ring.
Progresso.
I can't believe I'm eating bacon-enriched creamy cheese before my sister's wedding.
Well, it's only 100 calories, so you'll be ready for that dress.
Uh-huh.
You don't love the dress?
I love my sister.
40 flavors, 100 calories or less.
Attention, hip replacement recipients. If you had metal-on-metal hip replacement and suffered serious injuries or revision surgery, you may be entitled to a cash award. DePuy ASR and Stryker Rejuvenate and other hip replacement devices have been under FDA review. The FDA is aware of failures and dangers of all metal hip replacements and has raised concerns about high metal concentration in patients. Common injuries include early failure of the device, metal blood poisoning, bone fracture, dislocation, tissue damage from metal debris, and hip pain. If you had a DePuy ASR, Stryker Rejuvenate, or other metal-on-metal hip replacement implant and suffered serious injury or revision surgery, you may be entitled to a cash award. Time is limited. Call the number on your screen if you suffered serious injuries or revision surgery from your metal-on-metal hip replacement implant.
Call 1-855-262-8439 now. That's 1-855-262-8439.
The Weather Channel celebrates Black History Month as only we can, telling the stories of African Americans who saw their world through weather, then changed the world for the better. This week we sit down with Dr. Ashton Robb.
When it comes to Medicare, everyone talks about what happens when you turn 65. But really, it's what you do before that counts. See, Medicare doesn't cover everything, only about 80% of Part B medical costs. The rest is on you.
Consider an AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plan insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company. Like all standardized Medicare Supplement Insurance plans, it could really save you in out-of-pocket medical costs. So call now and request this free decision guide. Discover how an AARP Medicare Supplement plan could go long for you.
You want to choose your doctors. Avoid networks. What about referrals?
All plans like these let you visit any doctor or hospital that accepts Medicare patients, with no networks and virtually no referrals needed. So call now, request your free guide, and explore the range of AARP Medicare supplement plans.
65 may get all the attention, but now is a good time to start thinking about how you want things to be.
Go long.
And commitment to go the distance with you. Call now to request your free decision guide.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here. And that's just Sam.
Jim Cantori, now on AMHQ. Weekday mornings at 7.
A wind chill advisory is in effect. Currently in our area, 55 degrees under sunny skies with windy conditions. Today, windy with sunshine. High 58. Winds northwest. at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Record low temperatures expected, low 37. Friday, partly cloudy, high 66. Winds north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Thank you so much for joining us. We're continuing to follow the Siberian Express. It's the lingering snow that we're dealing with mainly over New England, even again today, still hanging around across parts of Maine. There you see it, the current radar still showing some pockets of heavier snow moving across the northern parts of Maine. But as the low pressure itself continues to move away, then the snow will slowly and gradually come to an end as all will be moving away except the cold air, because it's here and it's here to stay for quite a while, because the temperatures alone representing the Arctic air mass, 5 degrees right now in Buffalo, 7 in Binghamton, but look at New York, sub-freezing, the same in Philadelphia, even down toward Washington, D.C., it's only 18 degrees right now. You factor in the wind, it feels like the big goose egg in D.C. Mark?
Thanks, Viv. And as you know, bitter cold weather can be extremely dangerous, but there's actually a hidden danger when the temperature's warm. It's the ice, and it's a concern for all kinds of first responders. Check out Maria LaRosa's report.
Ice. It can be beautiful, but also deadly. From 2010 through 2013, in Minnesota alone, 13 people died from plunging through the ice on frozen lakes and ponds.
People need to be educated and they need to be informed of the dangers associated with going out on the ice. Ice does not form at a uniform thickness. It may be 3 inches in one area and 7 or 8 inches in another area. It takes 4 inches of clear, strong ice to hold one individual. The only safe place is to remain off of it.
But if you find yourself in freezing water, a quick rescue is essential. After 10 minutes, the body's core temperature drops, hypothermia sets in, and the heart may eventually fail. That's why the First Response Team of America hones its rescue skills through intense training sessions. The team's choice of vehicle to pull victims from icy water, a multi-purpose hovercraft.
Normally we use our hovercrafts in major floods and when whole cities are underwater. But in situations like ice rescue, we can use the hovercraft to actually fly over the ice and the snow, allowing us to get to victims very quickly and very safely.
When the hovercraft is unable to access a victim, a dangerous close contact sling rescue is a test of the team's skill and stamina.
You're in the ice water, you're working with a victim and you're trying to get a sling around them and get it positioned in the right way, and it can be very exhausting.
Victims can help themselves and their rescuers by not splashing around or yelling.
Help! Help!
Common reactions that can speed up the body's descent into hypothermia.
What you're going to do is start throwing your arms up and down. Okay, you're coughing and screaming. Your mouth is open. That water's going to go into your body. That's what you do not want to do.
So remaining calm during a rescue is vital for a victim's survival. And so too is the ability of the First Response Team to turn its training into real-world action.
It's a good opportunity for the team to come together, to build a bond, and to remember that we need each other to successfully help people and save lives.
Such a great team, and so good that they do that training. And
Absolutely.
Of course, when you see scenes like what we're about to show you, you're going to be tempted to go grab a cup of chocolate or hot cocoa or coffee, anything warm.
Yeah, but what makes these pictures even more unusual is where they're seen from, because we're looking like this in parts of the Deep South. Wow.
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, it's pretty, but, you know, not necessarily used to it in the South.
Not at all, not at all. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Responding by storm, powered by Ram trucks. Guts, glory, Ram.
I got red dirt stains on my boots and jeans. Careless fingers from my guitar strings. Wild like the wind in the tall pine trees. I got roots and I got wings.
Sometimes the best used car on the road is the one you're still using. Right now, get a synthetic blend oil change, including a free battery check for only $21.99 at Firestone Complete Auto Care. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Okay, ladies, whenever you're ready.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I got this.
Oh, no, I'll get it.
Let me get it. I don't want you to pay for this.
It's not happening, honey.
Let her get it. She got her safe driving bonus check from Allstate last week, and it's her treat.
What about a tip?
Oh, here's one. Get an Allstate agent.
Nice.
Switch today and get 2 safe driving bonus checks a year for driving safely, only from Allstate. Call 866-788-0900 now.
Here we go. Hold on, man. Is that a leak up there? That's a drip. Now that's a leak.
That is a leak.
And if you don't have Allstate Renters Insurance, game over.
Protect your valuables from things like water damage for as low as $4 a month when you add renter's insurance to your Allstate auto policy. Call 866-788-0900 now. And if you're a safe driver, you can save up to 45%.
Just a few more ways Allstate is changing car insurance for good.
Call an Allstate agent and get a quote now.
No, I understand better than most that Washington doesn't come together on much. And it seems like it's even harder for them to get something right. But recently they did both. The new Reverse Mortgage Stabilization Act makes the reverse mortgage loan program even stronger. They ensured the stability of this important financial tool because they recognize the benefits a reverse mortgage can bring to millions of American seniors. It provides you with greater protection, more flexibility, and more confidence in your retirement.
Call 1-800-660-9362 now for your free information kit, including a complete reverse mortgage guide and DVD, personal stories from real borrowers, and a helpful family guide. Call 1-800-660-9362 for your free info kit today.
The fact is, a reverse mortgage is a proven way to turn your home's equity into cash. It's that simple. Facts usually are. You see, there's a lot of money just sort of sitting in your home, and AAG can help you use that equity to pay off some bills, eliminate your existing mortgage, fund your retirement, live a better life.
Call 1-800-660-9362 now to receive an info kit, including a reverse mortgage guide, DVD, and a new family guide. Call 1-800-660-9362.
AAG offers a range of reverse mortgages, and they'll help you find the one that best suits your family's needs. You can even get a line of credit that grows over time and allows you to use the money whenever you need it. Makes a lot of sense to me. Get all the facts.
In the kits, you'll receive a helpful 3-part guide. The first will show you how a government-insured reverse mortgage allows you to access the equity in your home as tax-free cash. 500,000 people have already done it. The second booklet contains stories told by people just like you who've had their lives changed forever using a reverse mortgage. And the third guide is full of helpful answers and information for children and loved ones.
Today's reverse mortgages are safer and smarter than ever. And that's a fact. AAG, the best advice for a better life.
Call 1-800-660-9362.
You know you're going to go out in bad weather.
We're willing to take a lot of risk.
He has no heartbeat, he's got no pulse.
These people are counting on us.
So let's go!
I've never been so terrified.
When you go out there, it's dangerous.
A wind chill advisory is in effect. Currently in our area, 55 degrees under sunny skies with windy conditions. Today, windy with sunshine. High 58. Winds northwest at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Record low temperatures expected. Low 37. Friday, partly cloudy. High 66. Winds north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook. So we've got like 60 years of experience here. And that's just Sam.
Jim Cantori, now on AMHQ. Weekday mornings at 7.
When you live here for a long time like I have, forever, it's not that bad.
Still, you know, it's just bad weather. Chicago all around.
Well, you may be used to cold and bad weather in Chicago, as those people put it, but as you wait for the buses or walk outside in Chicago, it is cold. But in Miami, you're facing the coldest February since 1875. Still, all the cold and snow can have unexpected benefits, like giving you a way to cool down your overheated vehicle, right? Ahead, how much longer this Siberian Express will have you shivering from Lakeshore Drive all the way to Miami's South Beach. Hello, and thanks for joining us for Weather Center Live. I'm Mark Elliott.
And I'm Vivian Brown. You know, Mark, it seems like there is no room to breathe even. You certainly can't even exhale the brutal cold, more snow and ice, and what they're already having a hard time dealing with.
When you do exhale, at least you see your breath.
Yeah, you do.
It's cold. Viv, it is a mess. It's a mess out there, to say the least. I mean, we're here. We're committed to making sure that you know what to expect and when, as we work around the clock to keep you safe from all of this dangerous weather. In fact, this is one of those blasts of Arctic air that stretches from the border states like, let's say Minnesota, all the way down to the Gulf Coast. And that means you're struggling with the cold from Minneapolis to New Orleans and everywhere in between. More than 1,200 miles of cold in between, right, Viv? I mean, it is really going to be quite brutal out there.
Yeah, you really cannot escape it if you're anywhere, certainly east of the Mississippi and even parts of the west here, as you go west of the Mississippi. But if you go west enough, you'll warm up. But here's a look at the morning lows that we've had so far. Check it out. 8 below in Chicago, 13 below in Green Bay, 10 below in Minneapolis. So the Siberian Express, it continues with a record cold that we've had across much of the nation, and expecting even more so as we go through the next couple of mornings. In fact, here is a look at all the details. Afternoon highs we're expecting today. And again, this could be record breaking. Only 4 degrees we're expecting in Chicago, and that's a good 32 degrees below average. I mean, typically late February, we look at temperatures at least in the mid-30s in Chicago. But with the jet stream taking a deep dive, notice how it's pushing all the way down across the peninsula of Florida. That's just allowing all of that cold air to make its way into the Gulf coastal region. And as Mark mentioned, even as far south as Miami, afternoon highs will be running a good 15 to 40 degrees below average, 40. So here's a look at the forecast. Lows that we're expecting tomorrow morning. Only 1 degree we'll be waking up to in Boston, 2 in New York, but 5 below in Albany. So you know what that means. That means to just put that extra layer on the bed tonight. Wake up a little bit earlier tomorrow morning so that you can jumpstart your car if you have to get out and about, because record low territory we're expecting as we're forecasting 2 degrees in New York as mentioned, but the record is 7 degrees. So really some brutal stuff. Mark?
Thanks, Viv. And you know, if the cold isn't bad enough, we do have more winter weather on the way and maybe even some thunderstorms to deal with as you prepare for the weekend. Mike Bettis is in the lab. And Mike, some of these areas are going to go from freezing rain and winter weather to thunderstorms in just about a day's time.
It's a complicated forecast, and it's a quick forecast. Your weather will literally change in a matter of hours in some of these cities. First things first, going to get you through tomorrow, because I think especially across the Mid-South, it gets really tough. Really concerned about Little Rock, especially in the morning. We're going to have rain that falls, freezes on contact with a frozen surface. Our surface temperatures are likely going to be in the mid-20s, so it's going to be a glaze of ice on everything. Something similar will happen for us, but just a couple of hours later in a place like Memphis. We'll have freezing rain, then we go over to sleet, which is little ice pellets that will fall, and then we'll go over into Nashville. We'll probably get freezing rain, sleet, and then snow in Nashville. The better chance to get all snow more than the other cities that we see, but a really tough drive tomorrow all across that I-40 corridor. Split jet flow here. We've got the cold air that's really filtered southbound. We're now introducing moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. The two get together, and it definitely causes some problems for us. We do have a heavy rain threat and maybe even thunderstorms for us across portions of the deep south as we get through your weekend. So let's run through that part of the storm now. This is Saturday. Notice how you've changed in Little Rock. You go over to thunderstorms. Temperatures will be warm across the south. New Orleans will be in the 70s, by the way. Memphis and Nashville, the Tennessee Valley, we go over to rain. As the storm system pushes east, say I-20, we're all rain. No chance you're going to get snow in Atlanta. It's an all rain event for you. And as we focused on early in the week, some wintry precip in the Carolinas, this go around, it's warm enough where it is all rain for you. So again, a complicated forecast, especially along the I-40 corridor, but for the rest of us south there, likely to be all liquid precip for a change. All right, Memphis, look how much rain we're going to pump out for you after we get rid of that frozen precip. As much as 2 to 3 inches falling for us here across the Mid-South. So please be on alert for some ponding on the roadways, maybe some hydroplaning, stuff that's going to cause you other issues other than slipping and sliding on some ice. For New Orleans, how about your forecast in particular? Think we're good until we get into overnight Saturday night into Sunday. Look how mild the temperatures are. It gets windy. And look at the thunderstorms that are back in the forecast now. 75 degrees with storms to wrap up your weekend. So a forecast that's very, very tricky. Multiple personalities with this one, that's for sure, guys. When we come back, we're going to talk more about this in detail, city by city and hour by hour, and then where it goes from here, especially the Ohio Valley into the Northeast, because in those cities, it looks like it's going to be a full-fledged snowstorm, especially as we get into Saturday. More details tonight coming up at 10 till the top of the hour.
All right, thanks very much, Mike. Well, we do have some better news for you if you're in Boston this afternoon. The MBTA says the orange and the blue lines are back up and running to full capacity.
Yeah, riders on other lines, you may still have to transfer to a shuttle bus to get to your final destination.
Sounds frustrating? Well, it is for everyone.
Our Dave Malkoff found out firsthand. Check it out.
If you can find a running train or bus in Boston right now, good luck trying to get on. You'll be waiting for the next one with these stranded students.
Today I was trying to go to class and it took me about like an hour and 45 minutes, like just to get to class.
And it normally takes you?
It normally takes me like 25 minutes.
Or you'll be slowly navigating substandard subway service like new grandmother Karen Ong, desperately trying to meet her daughter's baby girl.
A lot of snow.
Did it take a long time to get here?
Yeah.
More than it normally takes?
Yeah, more than normally take, yes.
Or worse yet, stranded at home, skipping a doctor's appointment.
My clinic was empty. I had no patients this afternoon.
With limited trains running, this is what every single car looks like, packed in like sardines. That's why you could wait for hours to get on one, and then the next one still looks the same.
They are decades old. They're not up to date.
Consumer advocates say this problem has been a long time coming. The snow has just pushed this aging system to the breaking point.
We're now seeing the system at its most vulnerable, shutting down and affecting millions of people.
And it's just actually faster to walk from here to there.
Get what you need or what you want.
Transit officials believe fixing these problems, really fixing them, means costly modernization.
Give them the resources that they need, and that means that there has to be significant investment.
Because weather like this may seem extraordinary, but it may be the new normal, and we have to be prepared for it.
In the meantime, commuters like little Maria Reyes' dad.
This morning he went to work at 10 o'clock. And he's supposed to be there at like 7.
For them, and many families living right on the edge of poverty, a few hours stuck in a mess like this
train is being taken out of service.
It could actually mean less food on the table tomorrow.
He didn't work yesterday.
Okay. Oh, he didn't work at all?
No.
So he doesn't get paid?
No.
In Boston, Dave Malkoff, The Weather Channel.
Thanks, Dave. And we want to show you this amazing photo that's starting to go viral on all the social media sites. This is in Greenville, North Carolina. Look at that.
Yeah, we have a picture of a Jeep that just freezes over. This is definitely going viral, and I can see why.
Yeah, you know, that car had probably turned on, melted that back layer, and backed up and left the icy skeleton in its wake.
A wind chill advisory is in effect. Currently in our area, 56 degrees under sunny skies with windy conditions. Today, windy with sunshine, high 58, winds northwest at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Record low temperatures expected, low 37. Friday, partly cloudy, high 66. Winds north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Guess what goes really well with eggs? Pillsbury Grand's biscuits make breakfast even better. Grand's Biscuits. Make breakfast pop.
And I turn around and there's 3 rattlesnakes.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't worry, Rob. You're covered.
State Farm agents are there whenever you need them.
Sir, we're going to need you on the runway later.
Don't let a severe cold hold you back. Get Theraflu with the power of 3 medicines to take on your worst pain and fever, cough, and nasal congestion. It breaks you free from your toughest cold and flu symptoms. Theraflu, serious power.
Americans, 83% try to eat healthy, yet up to 90% fall short in getting key nutrients from food alone. Let's do more. Add One-A-Day Men's, complete with key nutrients we may need, plus it helps support healthy blood pressure with vitamin D and magnesium. One-A-Day Men's.
Hey neighbor, Ace is having a 20% off store-wide thank you sale. So stop by Ace this Saturday only and get 20% off almost anything you can fit in a bag as our way of saying thanks for being our neighbor.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
That leaky roof will cost you thousands in repairs, and gushing gutters can destroy your home's foundation. Hi, Phil Swift here for Flex Seal, the brand everyone trusts to coat, seal, and stop leaks fast. Just a quick shot and Flex Seal fills cracks and holes, stopping the toughest leaks while remaining completely flexible. It's actually liquid rubber in a can. To show you the amazing sealing power of Flex Seal, we replaced the bottom of this boat with a screen door and covered it in Flex Seal. After a day on the water, not only does it stay afloat, but the inside is completely dry. And for places that are light, you're going to love Flex Seal Bright. Ideal on lighter surfaces. Perfect for quickly repairing decorative items. This light coating holds back water. A lot of water. It's like the Hoover Dam in a can. Use Flex Seal Clear to coat and protect. Now everything in plain sight can be sealed watertight. We replaced the bottom of this boat with plexiglass, drilled over 100 holes, and covered them in Flex Seal Clear. Not only does it stay afloat, but